Bo, student loans are a hot topic, whether we're talking about student loans in general or even the forgiveness of student loans.
Yeah, Brian, I'm really excited to talk about this because I think there's a lot of information out there and a lot of people are curious to know what is fact, what is fiction. And we want to lay that out for you because not all of the voices out there you're hearing are going to be telling you the same thing. Check out this clip.
So my wife and I recently went under contract on a house. We were nervous about taking out a mortgage on the property.
How much money you got in savings?
Between the two of us, about $90,000.
Okay, and you have no other debt?
No, zero debt, except for student loans, but I haven't paid on those since the pandemic. And I'm a federal employee, so they're going to be forgiven soon anyway.
No, they're not. There's not a program to forgive student loans that's actually working. What do you mean? Who told you your loan?
I thought if you were a federal employee after a number of years of federal service, they actually forgave your balance of your loans. I think it's 10 or 15 years of federal service.
Yeah, it's 10 years, and
so
far, 97% of the people that have made application for that have not gotten their forgiveness.
We literally ran the numbers. It's 1.97%.
Of the people that apply actually get forgiveness.
So I hate to say it,
how
but that's
much is your
at.
student loan debt?
$80,000 to $100,000 between the two of us.
Mm.
Okay. A government plan to forgive your student loans is statistically irrational. It doesn't occur.
But here's the thing. Dave is, I want to tell you, because he's not wrong in the fact that when we talk about because what this caller is referencing is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Mm-hmm. And a few years ago, it was all over the press that there was these crazy stats that I can't remember, based upon what Dave just said, it's 2%. 2% people were getting their loans forgiven, and then 98% were getting their applications rejected. And it really was kind of a shock and awe moment. Now, I think that this is the problem when you do this publicly, is that you can get caught in a moment in time. But I know this video was actually recorded at Ramsey Solutions not too long ago. Mm-hmm. But I think that this is we need to kind of update, because this is probably a trending thing a lot of people are going to be looking for, and we want to put it out there. A little history, and then I'll let you kind of jump in.
Sure.
You know, this Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program kind of originated in 2007. They didn't even come up with, there was a form that has kind of really streamlined this process called the Employment Certification Form. This is something that if you're a federal employee, you'll go to your employer, they'll certify every year, you turn it in. That form didn't come out until 2012. So
there was a gap. You
can imagine that 5 years from 2007 when this whole program started to 2012. That 5-year gap, and now it's not only the gap, it's the lag time. There's 10 years, because as Dave said in the video, you have to work 10 years to the federal government. So everybody from 2017 to 2022, it was the wild, wild west on trying to prove their hours, where they worked, that it was the 120 months and so forth, that a lot of them got rejected. Mm-hmm. Now, fast forward, we are at the point now where we're past 2022. This employment certification form has been around for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to report that we are on pace that in the next year, approximately 50, will probably even exceed 50% of these applications to forgive the student loan debt will actually be forgiven. And we're on the upward trend because now we have a process, and plus the press and everybody else drawing attention to this. I think there is a true change afoot that I just don't love how Dave laid that out.
Yeah, I think possibly the way that it was and the way that it was playing out is different from the way that it is and the way that it will likely play out, because there is a program there available, and that program is available for people that meet certain qualifications. But what that means is if you are someone who may potentially be eligible for this, you need to understand what is required. You need to understand what you need to do to make sure that you're not one of those statistics that gets rejected or turned down. So you need to make sure that you submit all the forms, specifically that employment certification form, and you keep amazing records of your payments from the time that you start your student loans all the way until the time that you apply for forgiveness. Because I think a lot of the issue of those 98% of folks was that they were just disorganized. And we all know that life happens, a million things happen over the course of a decade. If you are going to implement this as a strategy, if you're going to try to do this, you need to make sure that you are dotting every I and crossing every T so that nothing slips the cracks. Because this can be, and we've actually seen this in real life with actual clients, this could be hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt forgiveness for some borrowers, but you have to make sure you do the work to qualify for the program.
So let me close this out. The best thing you can do if you're going to do a public service loan forgiveness is get on an income-driven repayment plan, and then also just make sure you're submitting that employment certification form every year. And I think you'll be in a good place.
And again, you need to do your research because even not all income repayment plans are created equal. Some of them have different provisions you need to be aware of. Some will have caps on the amount that you can pay. Some will have unlimited caps. Make sure that you do your research to understand exactly what you're signing up for and exactly what is required if you pursue these programs. But just like any other quote unquote free money out there that exists, if it's something that you could take advantage of, make sure you're doing and taking the steps necessary so that you are not disheartened a decade from now when you're trying to work through the forgiveness process.
Look, Dave was not wrong. This plan was a hot mess not too long ago, but I'm happy to report things have gotten a lot better. And I just want to make sure we got that information out there just in case you are a government employee and you might qualify for something. And this is not, in my eyes, you are repaying the debt, because your employer, the government, is actually going to be repaying the debt. So this is now a tool, an effective tool in your toolbox. If you do what you're supposed to, take advantage of this employer-provided benefit and don't leave it behind.